So in this part, we're going to go for tools of Navigate. You're able to go to tab of Viewpoint, panel of Navigate. By using the tools that are existing in here, you can just walk through the project. Yes. The tools of zooming out, zooming in, pan, orbit, realism, and different forms, different items are existing in here. So, and also you can just go for bar. Navigate bar in here, that you have the options in here, and the access is really easier in this part. So this bar is just for 3D and it is not for 2D. The next point, if this bar is off, you don't have it here, you can go to view, navigation bar, and then it will be activated in here, as you can see. So, and also you can go for view cube by clicking on each of these corners that they are by default. For example, front, or maybe the symbols that you have in corners. If you click on them, for example, you can see different views in here. You can just look at it from the top. You can rotate it, or even you can click on view cube and drag it. You will have the orbiting in here. So you have different ways actually for navigation or walking through the project, Navisworks software. And we have different forms. Yes, we can simulate them in here. Or even, for example, during the navigation, you can just create animation that, for example, the way you've walked will be recorded and it will be played whenever that we want. And it's really perfect. So, or maybe some places that are really busy or complicated, like such these examples that, for example, we have a lot of things in there and we want to check that if, as an example, we can have different items for fixing or repairing. The person who's going to go, for example, or if it wants to crouch to fix or repair those things in that location. For example, for crouching, we can just show it here by characters in here, that we can have the best simulation in this part for our models. And also, if we want actually to, for example, check these XYZ levels that they are guides in here, we want to hide them, or maybe they are hidden and we want to show them, that I suggest you that they are existing in here and you can see them. You can go to this part, access, for example, you can activate it or inactivate it. For example, coordination is activated or not, and for example, location is activated or not. That I suggest you that they are activated, that you can see them. That, of course, we will talk about them in next seasons. The first point that we have to just be aware of that is, since actually in Navisworks software you can have a lot of formats, you can import a lot of formats. For example, in the softwares, some softwares, when you import different formats, they will be in X or Y coordination of the software. So by default, the model that you import into Navisworks actually is based on the coordination of the X, Y, and Z of the main file. And in some softwares, the direction of the Z and Y will be known by each other, will be matched. So actually, to remove these problems, to solve these problems, you can right click on the screen from the viewpoint, and here setting point up. If it is set up, it is by default that, for example, you're able to set the different directions here. For example, X, let's assume that. So let's return to viewpoint here from setup, that you can return to the default. Yes, I can right click again and I go to file options. Actually, in here you can just check the orientation or change it, for example, in here by entering the numbers that you want or things that you want. For example, here 0 and 1. The global coordination could be edited in here, 0 and 0. So here again, I can return to file option, and here it will be 1 and 0. You see the direction, view cube, it will be changed based on the thing that I want. If I just rotate it, it will be something like this. The home will be like this. Again, let me return to here, file option, 0, 0, 1. Okay. You see, again, the direction or coordination is the main coordination that we have. So you can change the direction that you want. So by this option, by actually orientation setup, you can just change the direction of the views of X, Y, and Z based on the thing that you need. I told you that by right-clicking viewpoint directly, you can have access to these items in here, or even you can go, for example, to file options, orientation. You can have again access to them. That by default this actually it will be on 1. You can just change it by 0, 1, -1, or for example that you can set exactly the items that you want.